No one alive today will forget the years between 2025 and 2035. A decade that scientists, economists, and futurists call the Great Turning Point. A decade when humanity will cross more technological, environmental, and social thresholds than in the past 200 years combined. Right now, without us noticing, the world is quietly shifting into a new era. An era of breakthroughs, an era of risks, an era that will redefine what it means to be human. The question is, are we ready for what's coming? Because everything, our jobs, our cities, our bodies, our climate, even our definition of life, will change before 2035. This is the story of the decade that will transform our world forever. It begins with a silent revolution happening in 2025, AI acceleration. The International Monetary Fund reported in 2024 that over 40% of global jobs are now exposed to automation, with advanced economies facing nearly 60% AI exposure. This isn't about robots taking factory jobs. This is about AI entering law firms, hospitals, government offices, finance, media, and universities. By 2027, experts from MIT and Stanford predict that AI will handle up to 70% of daily digital tasks, from medical diagnosis to coding to scientific research. For the first time in history, machines will not just work faster than humans, they will think faster. And this triggers the next turning point, the collapse of traditional careers. A 2023 McKinsey report estimates that 300 million full-time jobs could be automated by 2030. But at the same time, entirely new fields emerge. AI ethics, synthetic biology, geoengineering, quantum security, space mining, AGI alignment, neurocomputing. Your job disappearing is no longer the fear. Your job changing every 2 years is the new reality. But something even bigger is coming. By 2028, humanity enters the era of biological editing. When CRISPR-Cas12 and base editing reach medical maturity, treatments that seemed like science fiction will become routine. Harvard's Wyss Institute predicts that gene editing therapies could erase thousands of inherited diseases by the early 2030s. But that's only the beginning. The real shock comes when biotech shifts from healing to enhancing. Sharper memory, faster muscle repair, longer lifespan, disease-proof children. Ethicists warn of a future where biological advantage becomes a commodity. The wealthy live stronger, smarter, longer, while the rest fall behind. Humanity divides not by race or religion, but by genetic class. And while we rewrite our DNA on land, another transformation is unfolding above us. Space is no longer a dream. It's becoming an industry. In 2025, NASA's Artemis mission restarts human exploration of the moon. By 2028, permanent lunar habitats begin construction, and by 2030, according to the European Space Agency, the moon becomes the world's largest resource frontier. Helium-3, rare metals, water ice that can be turned into rocket fuel. A new space race begins, this time not between countries, but corporations. SpaceX, Blue Origin, CNSA, ISRO, ESA. all competing for the same resources. By 2032, humans step foot on Mars for the first time, not as astronauts, but as colonists. And Earth watches a civilization begin on another world. But while humanity reaches for the stars, our own planet faces the biggest challenge in its history. The global temperature rise passes 1.5 degrees Celsius sometime between 2029 and 2033, according to the IPCC. Heat waves intensify, oceans warm, glaciers collapse. And then comes the event climate scientists have warned about for decades: the climate migration wave. The United Nations projects that by 2030, over 1 billion people may face climate-related displacement. Entire coastlines reshape. Cities like Dhaka, Miami, Lagos, and Bangkok prepare for incoming seawater. Meanwhile, northern countries, Canada, Russia, Scandinavia, become climate havens. A new global map emerges, not of politics, but of survivability. And this friction triggers the next change: the redefinition of borders, alliances, and global power. In 2030, the world's population hits its peak, around 8.7 billion. From there, birth rates decline sharply. By 2035, over 60 countries face shrinking populations. Japan, South Korea, Italy, and China become the first post-growth societies where deaths outnumber births at record levels. This sparks a radical shift. Governments begin rewarding immigration, automation, and even artificial workers to sustain their economies. Humanity enters an era where labor no longer comes from people, but something else rises to take its place: the quantum revolution. In 2025, quantum computers can break only experimental encryption. By 2029, IBM, Google, and Chinese labs are expected to reach error-corrected quantum supremacy, capable of solving problems impossible for classical machines. Drug discovery accelerates. Material science explodes. Climate modeling becomes precise. And encryption, the foundation of global security, breaks. Every password, every bank vault, every military code, all vulnerable. A new cyber Cold War begins, fought not by armies, but by qubits. But the most profound change of all is quiet, invisible, and deeply personal: human-machine integration. In 2025, brain-computer interfaces allow paralyzed patients to move robotic limbs with thought. By 2028, consumer-grade neural devices help people type, play games, and control devices mentally. And by 2035, neurotechnology becomes as common as smartphones. Memory enhancement, instant language translation, direct mental internet access. The line between human and machine blurs. And this raises the most important question of the decade. When technology merges with biology, what does human even mean? Because the final shift of 2025 to 2035 is not external, it's internal. Human identity changes, human capability expands, human consciousness evolves. We don't just witness the future, we become the future. Looking back, historians will say this decade was inevitable. A decade when technology matured faster than institutions, when climate changed faster than politics, when innovation accelerated faster than ethics. But in every revolution, humanity adapts. We survived ice ages. We survived plagues. We survived world wars. And now we stand on the edge of something greater. A new species. A new world. A new era. The decade between 2025 and 2035 is not just a turning point. It is the moment humanity steps into its next evolution. The question is no longer what will happen. The real question is, when the future arrives, who will we choose to become?